Well, welcome back to my Out of the Park 19 Let's Play with the Kansas City Royals as we try to rebuild this franchise. It is now June 4th, 2021, which means it's time for the first year player, or for the amateur player draft. And we are a competent baseball team. We're 2 games below 500. Last in the division, actually. The division is pretty competitive this year. But we're floating around 500. We're playing some okay baseball, which is a definite step up from last season. So just looking at the stats here, our bats have been much better this season than last year. Second in batting average and fourth on on-base percentage. That's sort of how I built this team, so I'm glad to start seeing that they're playing like they're supposed to be playing. Lopez hitting 318. Logan Warmoth has been getting a lot of play. He's hitting over 300. Gigliotti is having a fantastic offensive season, hitting 324. He's leading the team in RBIs with 32. 2.7 wins above replacement already at 26 steals. I mean, he's been fantastic. OPS plus of 138 this year so far versus 74 last year. I don't know if he'll be able to keep it up, but definitely an impressive start so far. It's got some other guys that are struggling a little bit. Duenes, I expect him to sort of pick it up a little bit. Anthony Rendon has been okay. Seth Beer is not quite hitting as well. I guess he is right around where he was last season. His average is low, but his slugging and his OPS is still pretty healthy. Pavin Smith has been pretty solid. David Peralta has been really good. He's a trade deadline trade candidate, depending on where we're at that point of the season, but he can help a contender. I mean, he's playing extremely well, and at only $5.5 million, that's a pretty cheap contract as well. And Gigliotti, we already covered him, and still struggling to find much production out of the catcher position. But that's sort of a league-wide problem, it seems like. Pitching has also been better this year. We're now 12th in starters ERA instead of last like we were last season. So Carlos Martinez, better season this year. His ERA down to the low 4s, which is a big step up from where he was last year. Yadier Alvarez still kind of struggling a little bit. Foster Griffin has been not good. Gonna pull the plug on him soon, I think. Stick him in the bullpen, see if he can figure it out. But then Gregory Soto has been really impressive for us. His record doesn't show it, but he's been good. And then Willem de San Miguel, been a nice little surprise. So he's given us only 5 starts, but really good so far. 2.5 ERA. Just take a look at our prospects here. Just see where we're at. Ernesto Campos, obviously the most exciting prospect we have. Struggling a little bit in single A, but he's only 18. He's got plenty of time to figure it out. His defensive abilities at catcher have really improved. When we first signed him, I was really concerned about him at catcher. Obviously not too thrilled with the catcher arm of only 35, but hopefully this continues to increase. But these batting ratings are coming in nicely, so still a couple years out for him, but he should be a really good impact player. I have some outfielders. So Nick Schnell is in Omaha, and he's really struggled, but he has the potential to be a really good player. And then Cole Roederer is also in Omaha, and he's on a cold streak, but he's been playing a bit better. And he's pretty much major league ready. So I have an abundance of outfielders May try to move one of those guys to get another starting pitcher. I mean, we'll see. Because the pitchers in my system that I was excited about, Jim Putman, is injured. He keeps getting injured. If I go to his history, so he missed 8 months with a fractured elbow last year. Now this year, diagnosed with a torn rotator cuff. So he's missed pretty much 2 complete seasons. And then Matthew Thompson, who we took first overall a couple years ago, he missed a year with a torn rotator cuff. So these guys probably not going to develop, unfortunately. I guess Matthew Thompson could still turn into a decent player, but you're going to probably need to look elsewhere for starting pitching, which sucks, but yeah, what are you going to do? Also have Michael Doolin in Wilmington as a highly ranked prospect. Could be a nice power hitting third baseman for us if we decide to move on from Anthony Rendon. So that's something to keep in mind. But anyway, let's hop right into the first year player draft. Gonna auto draft until it's our pick. And we're going to look at pitchers, starters. And just sort by potential. So let's see who we have here. So have I would prefer a college guy that's a little, closer to starting. And this guy looks decent. Worries me a little bit that he's 22 and that circle change is, I don't know if that's going to develop, but he could have decent stuff, good enough movement, good control. He's a neutral pitcher, so he's not going to give up a ton of home runs, I don't think. So the average movement isn't super scary. Nasty slider and cutter. And so with him, it's just going to be whether or not that changeup develops. But I do like the looks of him. He's got high intelligence and he's durable, which is very important. Let's look at the high schooler here, Alfredo Plasencia. I mean, these bars look impressive, that's for sure, but I have not had much luck with high school pitching. Let's look at Ken Hall here. He's also durable. He has 75 stamina. What did Bleckhorn have? He had 70 stamina, so both of these guys are good on stamina. I probably switch to the correct view here. There we go. Let's take a better look at Ken Hall. Again, I don't know if that change is going to develop. Willem Blankhorn is the better of the two. So let's just look at relievers. Maybe there's a reliever hidden in here that has high stamina, like Chris Wilford, but he's only a 2-pitch guy. Mike Davis only has 2 pitches. So if I'm going with the pitcher, it's definitely going to be Willem Blankhorn. Let's just look at all batters. See if there's any can't miss type of players here. Oh, this guy looks good, but he's fragile, so I don't like that. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the bars here, I'm not really seeing much that makes me super excited. Let's just get our scouting recommendation. He wants the high school pitcher, which I'm not going to do, but I am going to draft Willem Blankhorn. So he's already pretty close to being major league ready, so might even be able to see him next season, which would be great. So let's do it. the auto draft again. That really good reliever is now off the board. I was thinking about taking him. Sam Emery, man, just if he had a third pitch, he'd be so good, but unfortunately he does not. Bobby Ralph. That changeup will never develop, so he's not a good starter. Gregorio Cordero. Now he definitely has 3 pitches. His stuff could be good. Got some control issues, but got a little bit of time to figure it out. He's only 23. I say only, that's actually kind of old. So he's got the stamina. I like the looks of him. I definitely like the looks of him. He's got high work ethic. See if there's any good hitting pitchers that are kind of hidden here. Nick Bitsko, 55, 55, 55. You could be a decent outfielder. Oh, let's take a look at batters again. Oh, here's a guy with a similar profile to Nicky Lopez, high contact, decent gap power, and good avoid Ks. Be a good infielder, so he's someone to keep an eye on. A 70 contact potential catcher. Now that is interesting. Our scouting director likes Bobby Clay, who is, he's going to be a decent player. I mean, that's for sure. OSA is a little bit higher on him. I don't really need any outfield, but he's going to be valuable, so it's good to get the valuable guys. That's for sure. He only wants slot money. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll take Bobby Clay. Draft him. That catcher's still here. I'm going to wait one more round. I'm going to see if there's a... first off, he wants Bobby Ralph. Starting pitcher we were looking at earlier. I just can't take him without that third pitch. All pitchers, draft pitchers. Let's just take a look here. Who else was I looking at? Ooh, did not see this guy earlier. Starting pitcher with 35 stamina. Damn. He'd be a good reliever, though. He's going to have good stuff, good movement. Control is a bit of an issue, but 4 really good pitches. Oh, man. That's a tough one. That stamina is really going to hold him back. Joey Mueller, low intelligence guy. He's got a ton of pitches. None of them are super good. Man, this guy's really tempting. Because if nothing else, he can be a good bullpen piece. And maybe we could just stick him as a starter with a low pitch count. That's tough. Any good hitting pitchers still out there? He's got low work ethic. Don't really want him. Yeah, this guy still 55, 60, 55, 55, 50. Just a solid hitter. Let's go back and look at all batters. Don't really see any good power guys. Ooh. This guy looks really good, although the low work ethic scares me away. And he's an impossible signing. Decisions. Justin Quintana is an impossible signing. Really good base runner, really good outfielder. I'm really struggling here. I don't know who to pick. Yeah, if he wasn't an impossible signing, I would take him. Definitely. Alright, you know what? We're going to take a flyer on this pitcher here with the no stamina, because everything else is fantastic. So if I can just get, like, I don't know what I'm thinking here, but we're just going to do it anyway. See if that catcher's still around. He is. It's premium position. With a, similar profile to Nicky Lopez. Without the base running, of course. Line drive hitter. Yeah, an on-base guy as a catcher, I'll take that. Well, he wants Bobby Ralph still. I'm not going to do that. He only has 3 pitches, so can't do that. Go ahead and draft Andy Carroll's. Steve Ignis is still out there. I like his bars, but the low work ethic, low intelligence, not gonna. I mean, we can't do that. This guy looks, and this guy's going to be a really good player. Impossible signing. Okay, our scouting director likes Bryant Colon. He just profiles as a decent major leaguer, maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this impossible signee, and we'll just see what he wants. And then now I'm gonna look at let's look at all pitchers. Just look at the good hitters. Looks like all the good hitting pitchers are now gone. Oh boy. Are there any interesting pitchers left? This guy has 4 pitches that could be okay. He's got the stamina. He's 21. OSA is a little bit higher on him. Chris Wilford. Man, if he had a decent third pitch. We're going to try it. I mean, very worst, he'll be a good reliever. Or a major league caliber reliever anyway. We'll do one more pick here. Let's see. Any high stuff guys? I'm just going to go ahead and have my scouting director finish out the draft. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and negotiate with my draftees off screen and simulate a few days, make sure there's no issues signing anybody, and then we'll play through a game. So while simulating a few days ahead to make sure all our prospects signed, the Tampa Bay Rays offered a trade with Chris Archer. And originally the trade was terrible, like the AI trades always are, but them offering Chris Archer made me interested, so I got a trade that I'm willing to do. So Archer, this is just a 1-year rental, and we've gone on a little bit of a streak here to where we're actually in the wild card hunt. So adding an arm like Chris Archer could potentially, get us into the postseason. And to take that chance, I'm willing to give up Robbie Teal, who could be a decent catcher, just major league average catcher. Grant Ashline, who could be maybe like a emergency depth infielder, and Bryce Bush, who I'm not super high on. My farm system is very deep with guys that could become just average major league starters, so giving up 3 of them for this deal is not concerning to me. Also, the Rays are going to be retaining 60% of his salary, so that I have enough money to spend the full $5 million on an international amateur free agent. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this. And our fan interest increases slightly, so that's good. Okay, so Chris Archer. He's on the active roster, I would assume. I need to the rosters and transactions. Because I would like to get him in here as fast as possible. There we go. Okay, so I need to need to send somebody back down to Omaha. Who's my worst reliever? Look at the stats here. I would like to keep Foster Griffin up and just move him to the bullpen. Because Vesadas has no developmental upside. I mean, he's old, so we're going to DFA him. And then Chris Archer is going to be put on the active roster. There we go. And just our pitching. So Foster Griffin, you're going to be in the bullpen. Chris Archer, you're going to be a starter. Long relief. And there we have it. So we've bolstered our pitching staff a little bit. Still need to sim forward a couple days. We did get our first round pitcher to sign, but still waiting on some of these other guys. This impossible signee, I wasn't too sure if we were going to get him. Obviously, I still don't know because he hasn't signed, but His demands weren't too crazy, so 3.5 million I might be able to get him. But yeah, I'm going to sim a couple more days and see if we can get these guys under contract. Okay, so we got everybody under contract that we wanted to, including the impossible signee, so that's good. So we went on a record the last few days while we were simming ahead. Pretty good, so we're now above 500. Within striking distance of the wild card and the division. Obviously have some work to do, but hopefully this Chris Archer trade can spur something here. But anyway, let's go ahead and play against Detroit. It was postponed. We're gonna go ahead and sim again. Sim ahead one day. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we got Carlos Martinez against Michael Fulmer. So the Tigers, their rebuild is coming along very nicely, and they got Giancarlo Stanton. Oh boy. So this will be interesting. Alrighty here. So Martinez is going to start it off. And that's going to be a leadoff double for the Tigers here. And it should be an easy out here. Infield fly. And Justin Smoke. We have a base open. Let's just pitch around him. See if we can get him to swing at some garbage. And that'll be out number 1. Or out number 2, rather. And Stan, we're going to pitch around him as well. So we work around the leadoff double and get through the inning. Let's see what Gigliotti can do. He strikes out. Duenas will ground out. And Anthony Rendon will pop out. So that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. And that will drop in for a hit. So get a 1-out single there. Yelmer Sanchez will strike out. That'll be Martinez's first strikeout of the game. And that'll be out number 3. Seth Beer at the plate. Rips it down the right field line, but good play by the first baseman there. And Pavin Smith will strike out. And David Peralta at the plate, who will look at strike 3. So, no base runners yet for us. But our defense still doing a good job keeping us in it. Now we'll just pitch right at him here. There we go. 2 strikeouts there to end the inning. And Carlos Andres Cortez, who's been hitting well this year and continues to hit well. That's going to be our first base runner of the game. So Fulmer is effective at holding runners, and Torrance is a good catcher arm. So we're not going to test him with Cortez. I'll just take a couple pitches here. There we go, a 4-pitch walk. And there we go. We'll make him throw a strike before we give Warmoth the green light there. And that's a deep fly. That'll be out number 1. But the runner will be able to tag and advance to third. So runners at the corners with 1 out for Gigliotti, who hits a deep fly. Is that going to be deep enough to get the tag and advance? It is. So sacrifice fly from Gigliotti there, and we take the lead. And Duenes will fly out for out number 3. But we have the lead. See if our pitching can hold on to it here. There's out number 1. We're going to pitch around Stanton, who will swing and miss. And that ball just squeaks through the infield for a base hit. Nice play there to throw out the runner. And that will end the inning. Ooh, and that's a bad throw. So Rendon will reach on an error and will actually get to second as leadoff hitter. So here's Seth Beer. He will take ball 4. 2 on, nobody out for Pavin Smith. Rips that ball deep. Is that going to be far enough? Yes. 3-run shot by Pavin Smith. And we're now up 4-0. As Peralta squirts that one through the infield. Continue the inning. Still nobody out here. Cortez going to keep the line moving. Runners at the corners again with nobody out. Take a pitch or two here. Can we get another 4-pitch walk? We do. And Fulham are really struggling here. And once again, we're going to take a pitch. Just make him throw a strike before we start swinging. Drive that pitch count up. There we go. 2-1 count. And Warmoth. Oh. Second baseman able to get, or the shortstop able to make the play there. Gigliotti takes ball 4. And it is bases loaded, 1 out, 5-0. Duenes will strike out, but Anthony Rendon, opportunity here for more runs. And that ball will not get down, but big inning for us there, 4 runs. This gives Carlos Martinez quite a bit of breathing room. So he gives up a leadoff single. Yolmer Sanchez will strike out. Gigliotti has no issues getting to that one. And this should be out number 3. There we go. So 5 scoreless innings for Martinez. As Seth Beer will ground out for out number 1. Pavin Smith, who homered earlier, will line out to the second baseman. And David Peralta, who continues to hit well, will get on base. 2-out single for Cortez, who's going to reach on an error. The Tigers having a bit of issues defensively here. As Valoria, who's taken 2 walks, I'm just going to keep taking pitches. There we go. And that squeaks by, and Peralta is all shallow. Peralta is slow. Montgomery has a normal arm. Play it safe here. Give Logan Warmoth a chance to drive in the runner. Is that going to be a grand slam? It is a grand slam from Logan Warmoth. And we've really opened up this game now. And Gigliotti is just going to continue this impressive couple inning stretch here. We're going to take 1 pitch, and then we're going to run and hit. And they're not even going to throw it. No chance. As Gigliotti gets his 30th stolen base of the season. As Duenes will ground out to end the inning. Martinez now working in the top of the 6th. Allowed 4 hits, but no runs. And that will get down for a base hit here. So we're just going to warm up Foster Griffin, just in case. pitch around Stanton here. And that will be out number 3. Rendon will take ball 4. So we're getting a lot of base runners these last 3 innings here, as that's a pass ball, and Rendon will advance to second. Seth Beer takes ball or strike 3 looking. Pavin Smith will ground out, but will move the runner over to third for David Peralta, who will strike out. And Martinez here working the top of the 7th. Still going strong, only 75 pitches. Could he possibly go the distance today? We will have to see. Works a 1-2-3 7th inning there. And Cortez, another base runner for us, as he hits a leadoff double. Valoria will sacrifice himself to move the runner over to third. Logan Warmoth, who hit a grand slam earlier, that will bring the runner home. So 10 runs for us today. And that will be out number 3. Martinez still going strong. We're going to try to get him to the end. Let's get him that complete game shutout. And that should be out number 3 here in the 8th. So Martinez is just 1 inning away from a complete game shutout. And Rendon hits that ball well, but great play by the left fielder, Troy Montgomery, to get to that. And Seth Beer. And that'll end the 8th inning. So here we go. Carlos Martinez going for a complete game shutout. And does allow a base runner here. We are going to warm up. Let's give Toussaint the ability to warm up here, and got out number 1. Giancarlo Stanton. We're going to pitch around, and this could be a double play ball. There's 1 out. There's 2 outs, and a complete game shutout for Carlos Martinez. So excellent game for us. Both the bats were very hot, obviously, and complete game shutout for Carlos Martinez, and that drives the ERA all the way down to well under 3.5. So another win for us, and we are in the hunt. We're lurking. So if we can have a hot second half, we might actually make the postseason. But anyway, I will probably have another video for the All-Star game and international amateur free agents. So yeah, I will see you guys next time.